And hello everyone, it's time for another flashlight review, and today I have one of the newest lights from Lumintop. In the most recent view we did, we had the Lumintop SD26, which was a 26650 flashlight. Right now we have its cousin, or brother, or close friend, or however you want to describe it. This is the Lumintop EDC25, and this is an 18650 flashlight. So, for those of you who like the smaller battery form, this is the EDC25. And there is basic information here on the box about the flashlight. We can certainly look at that in the instruction manual here in a moment. So anyway, open up the Lumintop box and see what we have in here. There is an instruction manual, and that's right here. Oh yes, there was also this informational card which fell out a moment ago before I put the top back on the box, so that's in here. And as well as the instruction manual, you have the holster here, nice quality belt holster, and within that you get the accessories. And here you have a spare tail cap and a couple of O-rings, and you also have the USB charging cable, because the Lumintop EDC25 is a rechargeable flashlight. To look at it, you wouldn't exactly know that, but right here it says it holds or features a hidden micro USB charging port. So, as I say, to look at the light, you wouldn't think it was USB rechargeable, but their little port here is kind of hidden. So, it has a side switch, and it has a tail switch for tactical operation. So anyway, to make a long story short, here is your micro USB cable. And also within the package here, if I dig way down, you get the bright orange and rather robust lanyard, the adjustable lanyard. So those are the ways to carry the flashlight. And here is the flashlight, which also has a pocket clip already attached to it. So there are 3 different ways to carry it on your person. And it's a pretty nice size, just over 5 inches long. So anyway, let's take a look at the instruction manual here for a second, because it does obviously give some useful information and tells you all your modes, of which there are 5 regular modes. There's moonlight, low, medium, high, and turbo, plus strobe. Strobe is the only emergency flashing light. There is no beacon or SOS mode, just strobe on this version. And low will give you 40 lumens, and turbo is 1,000 lumens, but only stays on turbo for 5 continuous minutes before it drops down to high at 488 lumens. So 1,000 will give you 5 minutes of constant use, then it drops down to high and stays on high for 2.5 hours if you were to leave it at that. Meanwhile, moonlight will give you 1 lumen and should last for 340 hours. Not too shabby, huh? And of course it does have some nice features. The beam distance is to 205 meters, and it is IPX8, so it's submersible to 2 meters, and it's also impact resistant to 1.5 meters. It does have a Cree XP-L V5 LED, which is a nice ratio between a slightly wider hotspot and the very narrowly focused spot which are present on a lot of XP-L high LEDs. So it's sort of somewhere in the middle. So it has reasonably good beam distance at 205 meters. Now if you want to see those outdoor shots and what it can do, head over to my website. The link is in the description there, and you'll see some of the outdoor pictures I took with it. And of course it does have many other useful features, including mode memory, reverse polarity, and so forth and so on. So anyway, let's get to the actual flashlight here, and put this stuff aside for the moment. And oh yes, I will show you the USB here momentarily. So the flashlight is just like this, with a tail cap button and a side button. And the battery is an 18650. Of course, you could also use 2 CR123s if you wanted, or 16340s, but you won't get the charging ability with those other batteries. Here's a Lumintop battery, which I already have in the light. They did not send this with the light. This happens just to be my own, so you will need to get a battery for it. And put the tail cap back on. By the way, there's the regular tail cap switch here. It looks very familiar, as it does on a lot of lights with the spring. And there is also a spring up inside the head region at the positive end there as well. So you have two programming modes on this light. You have an outdoor setting and a tactical setting. And when they send it to you, it's already programmed in the outdoor setting. So what that does is as soon as you press the rear switch, you will get instant light. And all you do then is press the side switch to toggle through the other modes. And right now I believe this is on, oh, that was on turbo. So anyway, now we are on moonlight, and of course moonlight will give you good illumination right up close to anything within a few feet from where you are. And please don't comment on the condition of this room. It is more or less of a storage area, so anyway, that's the way that is. So we're on moonlight right now. Pressing the button will give you low, and then here's medium, and here's high, and here's turbo. So that should be about 1,000 lumens, and we'll stay on that for about 5 minutes before it kicks down to high mode. Now if I want to go to strobe at any time during any particular mode, I just press and hold the side button, but then I release it after about 2 seconds. 1, 2, and there you have strobe. And it'll stay on strobe until you press the button again, and then you're back in high. So that's the way you get strobe, and that can be accessed from any of the regular lighting modes. Press, hold, and release. Okay, so that's how you get the strobe. And as I was saying before, you can see how the beam is pretty nice here. It has a slightly wider but very bright hot spot, and which is wider than a lot of XP-L high version lights that I've seen, which tend to be a little bit more focused than this, but they also will throw the beam 400 or 500 meters, so there is a reason for that. But this is a nice light for either indoors or out, and there's the size of the beam there as you get further away. Now let's talk about the other modes for a moment, or the other programming mode, if you will. This is outdoor mode, so if I wanted to change to the tactical mode, I just press and hold the side switch, and I keep holding, and then it will do that. It will flash, and then go down to, I think that's low mode. Now, at this point, the side switch is no longer operable. Press the side switch and nothing happens. With this setting, you only operate it via the tail switch, because it is a tactical setting. So with the tail switch, I would then turn it off, and then tactically, I just give the rear switch a light press, and then I can choose of 3 modes that I want. It'll either be low, turbo, or strobe. So with each half press, it just gives me the option of staying on that mode. Here's low, here's turbo, and here's strobe. So at any time, if I just want turbo, for instance, I just press the button, and then I'm locked into turbo. And of course, to turn it off, just press the button again, and the next time I turn it back on, appears to be in strobe this time. May have been actually because I didn't leave it off long enough. I don't think it should come back on. There you go. That's because I didn't turn it off long enough, or didn't leave it off long enough. So if you leave it off for more than 2 or 3 seconds, the next time you turn it on, it should be in the last mode you were in. So let's turn it off and go down to low. I'll click it on for low, and then turn it off, and then wait a few seconds, turn it back on. Oh, and we're in turbo. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, once you get this light, you can figure that out for yourself. But anyway, I tend to like the outdoor setting. Tactical setting wouldn't be for me anyway. So you can tell I haven't used the tactical setting much. But that's how you get into the tactical setting, and that's how you use it. Now, if I'm in tactical setting, of course, and I want to get to back to outdoor setting, of course I will have it on, and then I'll press and hold the side switch once again and wait for the blinks. And there I can now use the side switch and click through all the modes, just as I could before. So that's how you change modes, or programming modes, and then change the modes within the programming. So if that doesn't make sense to you, or if you'd like to see that again, you can look at my written review at lightsandgear.com, where I have it all spelled out in English, and you can read through those choices and so forth again. Now, I said I was going to show you the charging aspect of it. So let me turn this off. I haven't got anything to charge it to, but I'll just show you what it does. First of all, you have to undo the head, and when you undo it, I guess the trick is not to lose it. Set it down somewhere, because you can't do anything much. I mean, you can put this back on like that, I suppose, if you want, but the whole point of the matter is, here is the USB input right there. So when you take the head off, that's it. And then plug the cable in, of course, micro end to charge. And then once you do that, what will happen is this whole top portion will illuminate, and it's rather cool, actually. When you first put it in, it will light up in green. Now, theoretically, if the battery needs charging, it'll light up in red. And then when the charging is finished, this whole area will be green. But what happens is, as soon as you plug it in, even if the battery is low, this will come on in green. At that point, press the switch. And then as soon as you press the switch, this will then turn red, as long as the battery needs charging. You got that? And of course, there are pictures on my website. So go to lightsandgear.com, see the written review, and you'll see this illuminating in both red and green like a Christmas tree. It's kind of cool. As I just say, though, don't lose the bezel when you take it off to do your charging. And I ran a line through it, and it seemed to be charging at a pretty good clip. It was around 0.8 or 800 milliamps that it was putting into the battery, so that's not too shabby at all. So that's how you do the charging aspect of it. Again, it's red when it's charging, and then it'll turn green when it's finished. So that's how you operate that portion of the light. And the rest of the portion there, oh, there, it's already on for me. So the rest of the portion there was already described. So I hope you like this video on the EDC25. If you do, tell me so below, and check out lightsandgear.com for flashlights, batteries, chargers, and the written review here. This was supplied by my friends at GearBest. There is a link below where you can pick one up on their site with a coupon, and also see that on my website if you miss it below. But do thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time with another light. So long.